Certainly, the Senate shares yung sinabi nyo na we are a country of laws. Kaya nga kami nag-iimbestiga dito. At kaya ang haba-haba na po ng PC namin sa higit kalahating taon na hindi pa masagot yung unang tanong na paano tumakas si Alice Guo, nanganak ng ganitong mga kaugnay na issue. Ah, ito po yung process ayon sa isang former deportee. While pwede ang connecting flight, sa pagkaalam niya, kailangan po ng nag-deport, ibig sabihin BI, na i-communicate sa transit immigration at sasalubungin siya. So hindi lang siya libreng mag-deplane, umikot dun sa airport, and then lumabas na lang kung sakali. So bakit walang ganito dito sa recent deportations?
Your Honor, I believe that the process that you're referring to refers to fugitives. Uh, as far as yung mga pong nahuli po namin recently, they are not classified as fugitives.
Kung fugitive man itong particular na former deportee, pero I think may halaga pa rin itanong dito sa kaso ng mga dinedeport kaugnay ng pag-shutdown natin sa POGOs at pag-shutdown natin sa human trafficking. Kasi halimbawa nga, yung layover flights malino na ginamit para tumakas, di maintindihan pa ng subcommittee bakit ayaw pang gawing policy ang direct flights sa Asia. Or kung pipilitin na may layover pa rin, may transit flights, hindi ba better part of reason na itong mga problematikong deportees na kaugnay ng POGO ay dapat samahan. I feel like I'm belaboring the obvious na para hindi sila makatakas lang, makabalik lang dito, possibly under false pretenses, kahit blacklisted na sila, bunga ng biometrics nung binanggit nyong unit kanina, at patuloy na gawin yung kanilang dirty business dito. So, yun po, that averment from the subcommittee still sticks na hindi po pwedeng ituring na ordinaryong deportee lang itong mga dineport kaugnay ng POGO, kaugnay ng human trafficking. Dapat merong higit na pag-iingat ang BI.
We conform with the suggestion of the Honorable Chairperson and of Senator Gatchalian, and will look into the policy concerning these deportees more closely, Your Honor.
Thank you for that,
Yes, Your Honor.
Commissioner, kasi yan po yung isang malinaw sa akin ngayong araw. Within sa mandate ng BI, mag-require ng direct flight. Sabi nyo nga may 3 option at isa yun. And
Yes.
in particular, to require direct flights for POGO workers. Kasi wala naman sa batas na bawal
Yes,
o
Your Honor.
na wala sa batas na dapat ang layover.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, for the suggestion.
Yes, Senator Sherwin.
Madam Chair, I support your statement, Madam Chair, that to simplify things, Commissioner, kung saan siya saan siya pinanganak, ano ang kanyang citizenship, balik natin doon. And I was looking at the Commonwealth Act that you mentioned. No? This is a law promulgated 1940 pa.
1940, Your Honor.
Yeah, so I would assume, ewan ko kung may pinanganak dito 1940, but I would assume that the transnational criminality now is much more vigorous, no, compared to 1940 dahil ngayon may internet, merong cellphone, may communication. Yung 1940 wala pang cellphone noon, walang internet. So my point of the matter here is napakadali na ngayon para tumakas dahil isang text mo lang, isang WeChat, isang WhatsApp, pwede ka nang abangan sa kabilang bansa at ipuslit ka. No? So it's really about time that we should look into this law.
Yes, Your
If
Honor.
it's not
I agree.
applicable to the times anymore.
Yes, Your Honor. We agree. We have been pushing for that for the past 25 years, Your Honor.
And one of the na-mention nyo kanina dito, meron silang mga options, no? Country where he came from, to the country of his birth, and all that. Pero wala naman ho sinabi ho dito na um, pwede mag-stop over,
Mhm.
no? Pwede may transit, diba?
Your Honor,
My understanding of this is in layman terms, is point to point. Kasi once na may transit, once na mayroong layover, di na natin makikita. I'm sure wala
You-
naman kayong
y-
taong
yes, Your Honor.
nakaabang doon. diba?
I understand, Your Honor, but exclusio unius es exclusio alterius. What is not excluded is deemed included. Hindi po excluded yung may transit. And Your Honor, we have to consider that, as you've stated, 1940 law po ito. Air travel then was practically not non-existent, but ano ho, travel by ship pa ho ang prevalent nung time na yun. So, the point being, we're pushing for the amendment of the law or for a new law. Kaya po, na pwede po ma-address ito. But, Your Honor, as I've stated, what is not excluded is deemed included. Kung hindi po excluded dito, then included. Allowed po ang transit, Your Honor.
It's a matter of policy.
It's a matter of law, Your Honor.
Yeah,
It's a matter of law.
but I think because the law did not state that you can do transit, you can do diversions, we should strictly apply it
That,
because of the circumstances. Yung iba yung circumstances ngayon eh. We're talking
Mhm.
about transnational criminals eh. We're talking about criminals who have much better networks than compared to all of us. Ito mga taong to may network sa Cambodia, may network sa Hong Kong. Nakita na natin yan eh. No? Nakita natin si Guo Huaping kung paano siya, 'di ba, tumakas at umikot-ikot ng napakadali kasi may sumasalo sa kanya in every port. 'Di ba? So my point of the matter there is the times have changed. And our policy should respond to those times. Yes, we agree that the law should be amended, but I think looking at where the situation is right now, tingnan na yung policy natin, dapat amendahan natin. Simplihan na natin kung saan silang pinanganak, anong citizenship nila, dali na natin doon. Para wala na silang takas pagdating nila doon. So that's my humble suggestion, Commissioner.
The times have changed and the law
Yeah.
I agree, Your Honor. The times have changed and the law should change with the times, Your Honor. Kung kailangan pong baguhin ng polisiya, babaguhin po namin. Pero kung kailangan pong baguhin ng batas, baguhin din po natin. That is our appeal to the Honorable Senate, Your Honor. Thank you.
Submit to us the amendments that you want. You have our support. The
Thank you very
department
much,
has
Your
the
Honor.
support. Submit nyo na lang sa amin kung ano yung gusto nyong baguhin, but we have to really make sure that this law is attuned to the situation now. Iba na yung mundo ngayon eh. And just submit to the committee.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Commissioner, neither is direct flight prohibited by the law. Hindi po nakatali yung kamay nyo to choose only among the three options. Obviously, may problema yung policy sa ngayon eh. Nakakatakas eh. So bakit hesitant kayong iutos na dapat direct flight pag POGO-related deportees?
Your Honor, hindi po hesitant, but I would take into consideration po the advice given by the Honorable Senators, Your Honor.
This is good advice in hindsight, Commissioner, pero pwede nyo na sanang nakita ito habang umaandar itong problemang ito. With three options in the law, you could have and you should have, I guess, chosen yung pinakamahigpit na option na siguradong walang makakatakas sa layover at siguradong walang makakapunta sa ibang bansa kaysa sa pinanggalingan niya. Anyway, speaking of yung pinag-uusapan din natin kanina na corruption, gusto ko namang pag-usapan si Mr. Na Ik-hyun with the help of Ms. Min, please. Dako po ako dun sa pagtakas nitong Korean national na si Mr. Na. I also would like to question you directly, Mr. Na. I'm sorry it's already afternoon, but I hope to also question you directly with the help of our translator here, Ms. Min Joo-hyun. Maybe I'll ask you first since you have also been waiting this time, and then I'll ask some related questions of the commissioner. So, Mr. Na, who from the Bureau of Immigration helped you escape? What are their names? Miss Min, please.
이민국에서 탈출을 도와주셨던 분들 성함을 알 수 있을까요?
We cannot hear you, Mr. Na. Please ask you are muted. Please ask the warden to open your audio. Miss Min.
지금 안 들린다고 그 소리 한 번만 켜달라고 부탁드립니다.
There. I think your audio is working now. So again, what are the names of the Bureau of Immigration people who helped you to escape? Miss Min.
이민국을 탈출할 때 도와주신 분 성함을 알 수 있을까요?
한국 사람이요?
He's asking if for the Korean names or all people involved.
I'm asking for the names of the Filipino members of the Bureau of Immigration who helped you escape.
이민국에 있는 필리핀 사람 직원분들의 성함을 여쭤보십니다.
라울 앤 폴.
다시 한 번만 말씀해 주세요.
한 명은 라울이고요. 한 명은 폴이요.
He said one worker is Laurel and the other one is Paul.
Laurel or Laurel?
Laurel 한 번만 다시 말씀해 주세요.
RAUL이요.
RAUL. Raul and
Raul
I'm sorry.
and
Paul.
Paul. So RAUL and PAUL. What are their surnames?
혹시 성도 알고 계신가요?
그 풀네임은 제가 정확하게 잘 모르겠습니다.
He doesn't know the full name.
You don't know the full name. So Raul and Paul. So I will ask the commissioner later who are these two people. And Mr. Na, what was your agreement with them? What did they get out of helping you to escape?
혹시 서로 합의 보신 게 있었을까요? 도와주실 때?
그건 잘 모르겠습니다. 뒷거래였던 것 같아서 저는 그냥 지불밖에 안 했습니다.
He's not sure what was they were asking for. He was able to pay for their help.
Why did you say that you're not sure? Who arranged the deal with them?
혹시 다른 제3자가 있나요? 도와주신 분이?
어떤 부분을 도와줬단 말이죠?
아까 말씀하셨을 때 그 필리핀 사람들이랑 잘 모르겠다 그러셨잖아요. 그냥 지불만 하셨다고. 그 뭐 받은 게 있나요? 그 필리핀 사람들이?
예, 돈을 받았죠.
그러니까 서로 이렇게 합의해 하신 건가요? 돈만 주기로?
아니요, 자기들한테 돈을 주면은 저를 여기서 꺼내준다고 했어요.
The worker said that if they were able to pay them, like in cash, they will help them escape the immigration.
How much did you pay them for them to help you escape? Yes.
얼마를
맞습니다.
지불하셨나요?
2023년 6월부터 시작해서 한국 사람한테 8밀리언 줬고요.
2023년 6월 달부터요?
네, 그때부터 시작을 해가지고 8밀리언, 총 14밀리언을 토탈 전달한 것 같아요.
Starting 2023 June, he paid 8 million to 한국 분한테요?
한국 사람한테 8밀리언, 필리핀 사람한테 6밀리언 정도요.
He paid a Korean 8 million starting 2023 June and around 6밀리언을 필리핀 분한테요.
아까 라울 폴이요.
And 6 million to the other two workers mentioned.
So you paid a fellow Korean 8 million pesos in 2023. What was that for?
그 한국 분한테 지불한 돈은 무엇인가요?
여기서 꺼내준다고 해가지고 처음에 베일 시켜준다고 했었어요.
The Korean promised him that he will bail him out from Philippines.
This was during your first arrest, Mr. Na?
처음 잡혔을 때 말씀하신 건가요?
네네네.
Yes.
And you were able to post bail or you were freed?
그리고 그 한국 분의 도움으로 탈출을 하셨었나요?
아니요, 못했어요.
No, he wasn't able to.
You weren't able to. And then you paid 6 million to Raul and Paul to be able to escape now.
그리고 이제 6 밀리언은 그 라울이랑 폴이란 분한테 지불하신 거죠?
다시 좀 말씀해 주세요.
그 필리핀 직원들분한테 6밀리언을 지불하신 거죠?
네, 그 라울이랑 폴이라는 애들한테 돈을 줬어요.
네, Yes, he paid 6 million to both of them.
All right. Did Raul and Paul talk to you directly or did someone else? Yes, talk to you.
혹시 그 필리핀 직원분들이 직접 상의하셨나요? 이렇게 소통을 직접 하셨나요?
어떤 필리핀 직원
그
말씀하시죠?
라울이랑 폴이랑 직원분들이랑 직접 소통을 하셨나요?
네, 직접 소통했어요.
Yes, they personally talked to each other.
They personally talked to you, Mr. Na, Raul and Paul. When they talked to you, did they mention any other officials of the Bureau of Immigration who were involved in helping you escape?
그 탈출을 도와준다 그럴 때 혹시 다른 사람의 성함이나 뭐 도와줄 분 있다고 말을 했었나요?
그게 무슨 말씀이신지 이해가 안 됩니다.
그 라울이랑 폴이라는 분이 탈출을 도와주신다 했을 때 혹시 뭐 다른 분 성함이나 뭐 다른 사람이 내가 도와줄 수 있다 그런 사람을 언급한 적 있나요?
그러니까 제가 나가는 거에 대해서 도와준다고 그러니까 했다는 말인가요?
네, 그러니까 그 두 라울이랑 폴이 그 뭐 자기네만 믿으면 풀어준다 그런 말
네네네네.
그런 거였나요?
네네.
The Raul and Paul said that specifically to them that if you trust us, I will bail you out from the situation.
Okay, did they mention any other members or officials of the Bureau of Immigration who would help Mr. Na to escape?
뭐 다른 이민국의 직원 이름이나 그런 분은 언급은 안 하신 거죠?
네, 그냥 자기가 메인 이미그레이션 인트라무로스 그쪽에 하이어 포지션이라고 해가지고 저는 그렇게 알고 있었고 라울은 이민 경찰이라고 저는 들었었습니다.
네. Paul said that he was in a high position in the immigration in Intramuros. So he said that just trust me on it. And Raul was a police.
So Paul said he was in a high position in the Bureau of Immigration in Intramuros, and Raul said he was a member of the Philippine National Police. Okay, this is getting more and more painful. And who was the Korean to whom you paid 8 million in 2023?
그 8밀리언을 지불하신 한국인 성함을 저희가 알 수 있을까요?
김성환이요.
인성환이요?
네. 김성환.
His name is 임성환.
김이요.
김이요? Sorry, 김성환.
Kim Song Hwan. KIMSONGHWAN.
Yes.
Who is he? Is he a friend of the Bureau of Immigration? Or is
그분은-
he a friend of the Philippine National Police?
그분은 뭐 하시는 분인가요?
필리핀에서 클락 쪽에서 원래 정켓을 하다가 지금 말레이시아로 도주한 걸로 알고 있습니다.
클락에서 뭘 하셨다고요?
클락에서 힐튼 카지노 정켓을 한 걸로 알고 있고요.
네.
네, 근데 지금 말레이시아로 도망간 걸로 알고 있습니다.
He used to work in Clark, and now he ran away to Malaysia. That's what he knows so far.
What was Kim Song Hwan's work in Clark before?
혹시 그 김성환 씨가 하시던 일을 좀 자세히 알려주실 수 있을까요?
힐튼 카지노 정켓에서 카지노 정켓
카지노에서
정켓 운영이요.
조금 더 가까이 말씀해 주세요.
정켓 운영한 걸로 알고 있습니다.
한 번만 다시 말씀해 주시겠어요?
정켓 운영한 걸로 알고 있어요. 카지노 정켓.
He worked in a casino.
In a casino. Always the same scenes of the crime, no? And lastly, Mr. Na, this time, when you were able to escape, who initiated the agreement? Was it Paul or was it Raul who offered you escape for a price? Or were you the one who asked them to help you escape for a price?
혹시 그 라울이나 폴 중에서 먼저 내가 탈출을 도와주겠다 했었나요? 아니면 본인이 먼저 탈출을 도와달라고 하셨었나요?
아니, 먼저 제안을 제가 여기 비쿠탄 2023년 6월에 들어왔을 때부터 그 제안이 시작됐었어요. 처음에는 베일을 시켜준다 했었고, 두 번째는 이송을 시켜줘가지고 탈옥을 시켜준다 했었고, 세 번째는 이제 이렇게 그냥 탈옥을 시켜준다. 그냥 이렇게 계속, 상황이 바뀌었던 거예요. 그 첫 번째, 두 번째 다 실패하니까 세 번째 이렇게 된 것 같아요.
Starting 2023, they promised that from Bikutan they will bail him out,
Mhm.
and it failed. So during the second time, they said he will help him escape. Then it failed again. So the third time, they planned again to escape him from it.
So there were 3 escape attempts.
Yes.
2023, then what was the second one?
그 두 번째 때는 날짜가 어떻게 될까요?
2023년 11월쯤에 산페르난도 케이스 가지고 이제 그거 산페르난도로 이송을 시켜가지고 저를 꺼내준다고 했었습니다.
It was during 2023 November. They
Mhm.
promised to move him to San Fernando.
Uh-huh. And they did not move him to San
Yes,
Fernando.
it was a fail.
And then this was the third time.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Na. I will ask follow-up questions of the commissioner. Thank you.
네, 협조해 주셔서 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
네.
And thank you. 감사합니다. Salamat, Ms. Min. Commissioner,
Yes, ma'am.
so sino po yung tatlong BI officers na iniulat na involved sa escape nito? At pareho po ba sila or iba pa dun kina Paul na high official daw, high position daw sa Intramuros at kay Raul na PNP daw?
Your Honor, yung pong Paul at Raul, meron pong nakita kaming picture na supposedly yun, but hindi po namin empleyado. Hindi po namin kilala.
Meron po bang high official ng BI sa Intramuros na nagngangalang Paul?
Wala pong kakilala, Your Honor, na high official na Paul.
Or mid-level or low-level na Paul sa Intramuros?
Wala po eh. Wala, Your Honor.
The 3 BI, so we have the names of the 3 BI officers. So yung Paul at Raul kaya well, that's anyone's guess, ano po? Kung yun ang totoong pangalang binigay
Opo.
nila kay Mr. Na or mga alias lang nila.
May forward sa aming picture, we can show it later to the body. But nung pina-verify po namin, Your Honor, wala ho nakakakilala dun sa nasa picture.
Mhm. Any other investigation on the 3 BI officers involved in the escape?
Your Honor, aside from the investigation internally, nag-file po kami ng kaso before the City Prosecutor of Quezon City for infidelity in the custody of prisoners. Meron din po kaming final sa Ombudsman. And our investigation is not confined to these 3, Your Honor. Meron pa po kaming inimbestigahan sa loob ng Bureau. So ongoing po investigation. But immediately after the incident happened, we filed the criminal case, filed the administrative case, which will be forwarded to the Department of Justice. And then meron rin ho kaming final with the Ombudsman. Now, considering that 2 of these employees were job order employees, they were immediately terminated. And then the other one was also terminated based on a case po na desisyonan naman ng Department of Justice against this person. So they're all terminated from the service.
Alam po ba ng Bureau yung ikwinento ni Mr. Na series of 3 attempts na pala ito ng escape na at least dun sa una at itong sa huli may ibinayad daw na 8 million pesos noon at ngayon 6 million pesos?
It came to our attention, Your Honor, yung pong incidents na to. But base nga po sa aming pagsusuri, hindi po namin kasi empleyado yung dalawa. But if we get the chance to talk to Mr. Na again, we will question him further regarding this. Kung sino po yung mga sinasabi niyang mga empleyado. Ngayon po, pagdating po sa isang mataas daw na opisyal ng kapulisan, wala pong nakadetalye sa amin na ganun po na pulis. Wala po.
So nagpakilala lang siyang PNP daw siya.
O, posible po, Your Honor. Wala pong nakadetalye sa amin na kawani ng kapulisan, Your Honor.
Napag-alaman niyo po ba itong si Kim Song Hwan na una daw nag-offer nung June 2023 at taga Clark daw siya nagtatrabaho sa casino doon?
Ngayon ko lang po narinig, Your Honor, but pwede ho namin check sa records namin kung sino po si Kim Song Hwan.
Di umano tumakbo na daw, umalis na daw ng bansa. Salamat, Commissioner.
Opo, Your Honor.
Balikan ko yung ilang... Yes, Senator Sherwin.
I don't know if you're at liberty to narrate this, Commissioner, but paano siya nakatakas? How did that happen? Diba he's in BI custody? Nasa loob siya ng kulungan ninyo. And I would assume there are levels of security before you can go out of your facility. So based on your investigation, paano siya bigla nilang nakatakas?
Hindi po sa loob ng facility namin nakatakas, Your Honor. He was out. He was scheduled to attend and did attend a preliminary investigation before the Office of the City Prosecutor. Ngayon po, ang contention po ng mga kasama niya na nagpaalam daw po na mag-CCR lang and then tumakas. But based dun sa eventual investigation po ng aming fugitive search unit, pagpunta po nila sa office ng City Prosecutor, nagtanong-tanong po sila sa mga gwardya at sinabi po na itong tao na ito ay sumakay sa isang sasakyan ng BI kasama yung tatlong nag-accompany, nag-escort sa kanya at umalis po from the OCP. So doon pa lang po sa bagay na yon, taliwas na po sa sinasabi ng mga kasama ho niya yung nag-escort sa kanya. Kasi nga ho ang contention, tumakas kasi after nagpaalam na mag-CCR. Pero ang sabi ho ng mga gwardya sa OCP, sumakay dito sa sasakyan kasama ng tatlong escort. Doon po nag-umpisa yung investigation namin. Now, ang initial information po namin, ito pong Koreano, merong siyang tinatawag na kapatid o brother na taga Pampanga. So, agad po itinawag namin sa mga kasamahan namin sa Pampanga, sa Clark, kung merong sighting nitong tao na to. Meron ho initial na sinasabi na namataan daw siya sa isang club. Pero eventual investigation turned out na baka malihong tao. Pero ang maganda lang ho doon, meron ho kami naging lead na meron siyang koneksyon sa Clark, sa Pampanga. So,
Senator Sherwin, if I may,
Aba.
itong Clark na kapatid niya, yun ba si Kim Song Hwan or
yung
iba pa?
yung Chang Byom, Your Honor. Yun ang tinatawag niyang brother. Yung eventually nahuli niya. Ito po kasi si Chang Byom is siya ho nag-facilitate ng pagtakas, meaning siya ho yung kumontak ng sasakyan, etc. So eventually ho, nung tinutugis po sila, meron ho kaming yung mga operatiba po namin, may nakitang CCTV na malapit dito sa isang establishmento sa Quezon Boulevard. Nakuha ho namin itong positive lead na ito based din doon sa sinabi ng isa doon sa tatlo na pinuntahan nila na restaurant daw at isang establishmento. Kumuha ho kami ng CCTV footage doon sa lugar na yon. At nakita namin na itong si Naik yon ay nakitang tumatakbo mula doon sa establishmento, tumawid ng karsada at sumakay sa isang van. Yung van po na yon, nakita namin ang plaka. So yun po, and then ito hong plaka na ito, napunto namin sa isang nagpaparenta ng sasakyan. At in-interview ho yung driver at tinanong kung saan dinala itong si Naik yon. Doon na po nag-umpisa yung pagtugis po. So series of events po ito. It took 5 to 6 days. So nung nawala ho siya ng March 4, dire-diretso na ho yung pagtugis sa kanya. morning, afternoon, kahit madaling araw ho, nagre-report po sa akin ang mga humahabol po kay Mr. Naik yun. Until finally nga po, natunton siya sa Clark. Inabangan po siya doon at eventually nahuli at nahuli rin yung kanyang accomplice na yung kanyang pong brother na si Mr. Chang Byum.
Bottom line, Commissioner, nakatakas siya gamit ang BI vehicle, kasama mga BI personnel. Confirm yun.
Confirm po, Your Honor. Yan po yung mga kinasuhan namin na terminate from service, Your Honor.
Okay. And then how do we avoid such a, kasi ito parang parang in my opinion parang una nakakadismaya, no? Na meron tayong mga ganitong empleyado na nasisilaw sa pera at gagawa ng paraan para itakas itong mga ganitong kriminal. At pangalawa, itong mga ganitong tao, kala nila ganun kasimple lang, no, na tingin nila makakatakas sila. Ang kinakatakutan ko, baka marami pa tayong ganitong tao na nasa loob ng BI. So what is now our mechanisms, o mayroon ba tayong mga mekanismo para para maiwasan tong mga ito, and how do we prevent such a escape from happening again?
Tama po, Your Honor. Ang isa pong ginawa po natin, base po sa direktiba ng Secretary of Justice po natin, ang lahat po ng hearings, Your Honor, ay through video conferencing. Iano po namin, magpa-file po kami ng motion. Hearings before the courts and also before the offices of the city prosecutors. Ayan po ang isang direktiba po. Pangalawa po, we actually entered into an agreement with the Bureau of Corrections. Meron po kaming i-occupy na bagong facility sa Bucor, sa may Alabang po. Napansin po kasi namin na ang maliit lang po yung detention facility sa Bicutan, Your Honor. Ang capacity po niyan is about 130, but currently it houses triple that, mga 350, 360 po. So yung proximity po kasi, yun hong kanilang pakikipagsabuatan probably is because masyadong nagiging malapit. So ang isa pong gagawin namin is, yun nga po, isang mas malaking facility para ma-segregate ng gusto ito pong mga taong ito from our staff. Pangalawa, we will be entering into an agreement with the Bucor to provide the proper training as to the management of the detention facility para maiwasan ang mga ganitong pangyayari. Now, with the new detention facility, in-increase na rin namin yung security. Tinaasan po yung mga walls. But actually, there's a ready structure already. Kailangan lang po namin i-improve. We are also going to propose na kumari po naka-body cam, body-worn cameras na po yung mga tao po namin. Para ma-monitor namin ang mga pangyayari. Lalo na po kung meron silang ini-escortan. We are also preventing the job orders. Kasi kung matatandaan nyo, sir, yun dalawang involved are job order employees. Kumari po, mga na po namin, mga immigration officers na po namin, ang dapat na sasama ho dito. If ever, ililimit na lang namin sa job order employees yung pagmamaneho. That's it. Pero pagdating sa mga escorts, dapat mga organic na empleyado na po namin ang nararapat, Your Honor.
And also, Commissioner, the best deterrent is makulong tong mga ito.
Yes,
Kasi
Your Honor.
parang kung wala silang takot, uulit at uulitin. And I believe, I'm sure you also agree na meron pang mga bad eggs na nasa loob. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
importante na makulong tong mga ito.
Opo, Your Honor. That's the reason why we filed the criminal cases, not only the administrative ones. Para yun nga po, gaya po ng sinabi niyo, para maparusahan po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam.
Salamat, Senator Sherwin. Mamaya tanungin ko pa, Commissioner, yung ilang pang mga tanong kaugnay ng Pegasus, kung saan supposedly idinala nung 3 tauhan ng BI si Mr. Na. At kung meron na kung ano nangyari doon, at kung may kopya na ang Bureau ng footage sa CCTV sa Pegasus.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes,
Para po,
Commissioner.
ganito pa lang kaaga. Sa loob po ng Pegasus, wala po kaming kinukuha na video footage because
Bakit
ang
po? Hindi ba kayo interesado malaman yung
Your Honor,
ginawa ng
interesado
tatlong
na
tao
po.
nyo doon?
At this point po, we are very much interested, Your Honor. But at the point po na tumutugis po kami at inaalam po namin kung ano yung mga sinakyan, obviously, malalaman po lang namin yon sa CCTV footage sa labas ng establishmento. So yun po ang inuna namin, yung paghulit, pagtugis. Ngayon po, ayaw rin naman po namin na maging, sorry to say, Your Honor, na maging katawa-tawa yung pagtutugis namin na biglang tanungin, saan kayo nagtagal doon sa loob ng isang establishmento na alam naman natin kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa loob. Yun po ang ano namin, Your Honor. But at this point, if we're going to get into the bottom of the matter, and we think na meron hong mga, let's say, sabihin na po natin, elephant in the room, may bayaran na nangyari doon sa loob din, alamin po namin, Your Honor. Pero
Pero-
yun po ang reason namin kung ba't hindi kami kumuha nung una. Because we prioritized yung pagtugis, Your Honor.
Nung una. Pero may
Apo, Your
kopya na kayo ng CCTV sa labas ng Pegasus.
Meron po, Your Honor.
At may balak ba kayong hingiin yung kopya ng CCTV sa loob ng Pegasus?
Yes, Your Honor, subject to whatever legal requirements there are. Kasi po, considering na meron na pong criminal case at saka case before the Ombudsman, we might be constrained to ask, of course, for the permission of the OCP and to the Ombudsman to get the proper video footages. Your Honor, yun po.
Whatever it takes, Commissioner, within the law.
Yes, Your Honor.
And COMSEC, pakisiguruhin rin po na sa susunod na pagdinig, andito rin yung proprietor o manager ng Pegasus. Kung kailangan makipag-coordinate tayo sa Business Permits and Licensing Office. They are here. Saan po? Okay, Ma'am Raimundo.
Okay.
Miss Raimundo,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Madam Chair and Senator Sherwin Gatchalian.
Salamat sa pagdalo nyo, ma'am. Please, I know it's in afternoon, but please stay on kasi baka may mga tanong po kami sa inyo. Just off the top of my head right now, bago ko balikan yung BI tungkol sa mga issues ng blacklisting and Chinese spies, handa po kayong ibigay yung video ng CCTV nyo sa loob, sa Bureau of Immigration, para sa kanilang investigasyon at sa komiteng ito.
Ma'am, we prepared an affidavit. So can I read?
All right, please proceed, ma'am.
Okay. So first, I, Josephine Raimundo of legal age, Filipino citizens with residence address of a third floor, Karangalan Road, Karangalan Village, Pasig City, having been duly sworn in accordance with law, hereby depose and say that I am the manager of El Caballeros Corporation, doing business under the name of Pegasus Club and Restaurants, a corporation registered and existing under the laws of the Philippines with principal address located at 1B Quezon Avenue, corners Scout Chuatoco Street, Quezon City. I had been the manager of the Pegasus for the past 3 years. On March 17, 2025, Pegasus received an email from attorney Andre B. Mortel, MPM, inviting our duly authorized representative to participate as resource person in the discussion on the anomalous escape of foreign nationals who have violated Philippine laws and requesting our organization's cooperation in providing CCTV footage of the entrance of Mr. Na Ekyons at Pegasus on March 4, 2025. We learned of Mr. Na Ekyons identify through Mr. Zaigar Mate, A. Yaranon from the Fugitive Search Unit of the Bureau of Immigration, who provided us with his name, photo, descriptions, and the estimated time frame when he likely entered our establishment. We are here to attest and confirm that we have provided the CCTV footages capturing the entrance of Mr. Na Ekyon's visit to our establishment on March 4, 2025. In fact, a copy of the requested footages was already transmitted to the Secretary of the Committee, Attorney Mortel, via email on March 17, 2025. And I am executing this affidavit to establish the foregoing facts and for whatever legal purpose and intent it may serve. Thank you, Madam Chairs and Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Raimundo. Meron din po kayong CCTV sa loob ng Pegasus?
Ma'am, Madam Chair, meron po kaming CCTV sa loob sa office po namin and doon sa bar po namin.
So, doon sa lugar kung saan pumunta sina Mr. Na at yung tatlong Bureau of Immigration escorts niya at yung banyo kung saan sinasabing tumakas siya, may CCTV video din po kayo?
Ma'am, sa labas po yung ano po niya, ma'am, yung van niya po. So, hindi po namin alam kung nakapasok po siya doon kasi they were asking lang naman doon sa CCTV footage, doon po sa entrance po ng Pegasus.
Pero sinasabi po kasi na doon tumakas si Mr. Na sa banyo ng Pegasus. May CCTV video din po ba kayo sa banyo?
Wala po, ma'am. Negative po kasi po, ma'am. Bukas po ang Pegasus po ng 6 o'clock po. So on that date po, March 4, naka-duty po ako sa Pegasus ng maaga to check ng work ng aking mga staff. And I noticed, kasi sarado pa po, after lunch po, may nakita po akong mga nakaupo doon sa waiting lunch, pero hindi ko po alam kung sila po yon.
After lunch, anong oras po yun?
Na-check po namin based on CCTV footage around 2:28 po ng afternoon.
2:28
PM.
ah,
PM po.
PM.
2:28 PM. Mm. Oo. Between 2:28 and 2:58 PM po yun, ma'am.
So, actually nabanggit nyo na ang Pegasus nagbubukas ng 6 PM. So, bandang 2:28 PM, hindi pa siya bukas, sarado pa ang Pegasus.
Yes po, ma'am. Kasi sa Pegasus po, bago po kayo pumasok, mayroon pong open area which is ang tawag po namin doon is launch. Doon po nag-i-inquire yung mga guests kung gusto po nilang mag-unwind. And pagdating po ng papasok na po kayo going to area po, meron pong glass door po doon, nakakandado po yon. So that time po, nung maaga po ako pumasok, nung March 4, nag-ikot ako, pero may nakita kong may nakaupo doon, but I really don't know kung sila po yon.
Kung hindi pa man alam kung sila yon, pero dapat makikita sa CCTV na sinubmit nyo, ano po?
Yes po,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
And kung 3.5 hours yon bago nagbukas ang Pegasus, paano sila nakapasok?
Ma'am, wala na po akong alam po doon kasi hindi ko naman po sila pinapansin kasi I am focusing doon sa work job ng aking mga tao.
Nangyari na ba dati na bago ang opening hours ng Pegasus, may mga tao na nakakapasok?
Yes po, Madam. Nag-i-inquire po sa aming security.
So,
And then pinapaupo po namin doon sa waiting lounge.
so pwedeng may pumunta lang doon na tao bago ng 6 PM, magpaalam lang sa security nyo, papapasukin na sila doon?
Ma'am, open po kasi po yan siya, ma'am. Open po.
So, sapat na makiusap lang sila sa security pagdating nila or merong kailangan silang coordinatan bago sila darating ng maaga?
Ma'am, very seldom po yung nag-a-ask po kung kailan po mag-open, and pag hindi po nasagot po ng guard, tumatawag po dun sa office namin sa secretary. And then, yun po, nagtatanong kung nag-i-inquire po sila.
So that day po ng March 4, yung guard po ba ninyo ay tumawag sa secretary para sabihin, oh may mga tao dito gustong pumasok, pwede ba?
Madam Chair, hindi ko na po natanong po yun, Madam Chair. Kasi ang focus po namin dito is yung sa CCTV asking po na nakalocate po doon sa entrance po ng Pegasus.
Salamat, Ms. Raimundo. Baka may mga susunod na tanong
Yeah,
sa
thank you, Madam
ibang
Chair.
oras. Salamat po sa inyo. Ituloy ko lang po sa Bureau of Immigration. Pero kung maaring kay Attorney Arvin Santos ako magtanong ulit. Attorney Santos, so ito po ay kaugnay pa rin nung mga issue ng blacklisting at saka alleged Chinese spies. So ano nga po uli yung alam ninyo dun sa background ng deportation noong bandang 2014, 2015, kaugnay ni na Shi Zhejiang at saka Ma Dongli. Shi Zhejiang at yung Chonghua General Enterprises. Ano yung alam nyo sa background nito?
I'm trying to recall, Madam Senator, but I believe si Xie Zhejiang has been deported, so he's blacklisted. But I will still need to confirm or verify that.
And can you confirm or verify as of today yung kung ano yung alam nyo sa background ni Shi Zhejiang sa Chonghua General Enterprises?
Officially, ang bureau, ma'am, perhaps baka other than the work visa that was issued to him, wala na pong other information.
So pakisubmit na lang po sa komite namin yung
We will
records
do
ng
po.
BI both kay Shi at itong kumpanyang ito.
We will do.
Thank you, Attorney. And the reason po I'm bringing back the conversation to Shi, dahil recent events have demonstrated na malalim ang pagtatanim ng espiya ng China dito sa Pilipinas at lumalabas na isa sa mga orig na spy itong si Shi. We've been given access to a few more files of Shi in relation to Guo Huaping. And the extent of the information in his possession makes me believe that he is no ordinary citizen at may access po siya sa security information. We received this file. Ito po. We received this file from colleagues of Mr. Shi. So, according to them, ito pong si Deng Yuanqing is in the network of Ma Dongli, tulad ni Mr. Shi. Reports state that itong si Mr. Deng has been going around assessing critical infrastructure in the country and has been here for nearly a decade. This dovetails with the timeline ni na Ma Dongli at Shi Zhejiang. And while we cannot confirm anything yet as a fact, lumilinaw na ang lawak at lalim ng sinasabing espionage operations in the country. I hope we're not stopping efforts to reach out to Mr. Shi in the Thai prison at ito ni-raise ko sa DFA noon. Sino nga pala po, excuse me, Attorney, ang nandito para sa DFA ngayon? Aside from the good USEC earlier online, meron pa po bang iba? Yes, ma'am. Sir, will it be ASEC Mendoza Oblena? My question, ma'am, is can you and the Philippine Embassy in Thailand update the subcommittee on the status of interventions made with respect to Ma Dongli in particular? I'm sorry, with respect to Shi Zhejiang.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Madam Chairman. I'm Tonette Oblena. I'm the Assistant Secretary for Consular Affairs. I believe that if Bangkok PE is still online, they would be able to answer the question better.
Thank you, ASEC. Bangkok PE, are you still online, ma'am? I think it was the Chargé d'Affaires earlier. Comsec, online pa ba sila? They are still online. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for staying with us. Opo.
We're still online po.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. May
Actually,
updates po kayo kay Shi Zhejiang, yung interventions po ng government natin kaugnay niya para ma-contact siya at ma-interview?
Yes, ma'am. In November 2024, the embassy received a note from the Thai ministry advising the Philippines to proceed with its request to interview Mr. Shihijan in accordance with the ASEAN Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters, or ASEAN-MLAT, by which the central authority of the Philippines could submit the request through diplomatic channels. On 22nd November 2024, the Department of Foreign Affairs transmitted this request to the Department of Justice po. As of today, we have not received any updates yet from the DOJ.
Salamat po, Ma'am Charge d'Affaires. Sino pong nandito para sa DOJ? Yes, sir. Attorney Samson. Sir, may updates po ba kung ang DOJ nakipag-ugnayan na sa Thai government sa ilalim ng ASEAN-MLAC Treaty? Kaugnay po ni Mr. She?
With respect to that matter, Your Honor, I believe State Counsel Lozano will be able to answer it more intelligently.
Salamat po, Attorney. State Counsel Lozano, ma'am. Ma'am, you were able to take the oath earlier.
Yes, ma'am. At the
Salamat
back.
po. Previously po. Salamat po.
Yes po.
Kayo, ma'am, may update po ba kayo dun sa...
For now
usaping
po,
ito.
ma'am, we have yet to receive a reply from our counterpart from the Thai, but we will update the committee once we got the reply from our counterpart.
Pero sumulat na nga po ang gobyerno natin sa Thai government sa ilalim ng MLAC Treaty na yon.
We will confirm that because if the request po ay nung November pa po, we definitely, I think we've already done that, yun writing our counterpart po sa Thailand po.
I'm reassured by your confidence, ma'am, pero paki-confirm po
Yes
in
po.
terms of fact sa aming komite para kasi hakbang-hakbang po namin fina-follow up eh.
Yes po, ma'am. We
Maraming
will do that.
Salamat po sa inyo,
Apo.
ma'am. And I really hope that, Attorney, that we act promptly because now we see again that siya may indeed hold information vital to our national security. Hindi lang kaugnay ni Guo Huaping, hindi kasama niyang si or nag-recruit sa kanya na si Ma Dongli, pati dito sa isa pang taong si Deng Yuanqing. So he's of major interest of us also now, ma'am. Salamat po. So back po sa kina Attorney Arvin Santos. So yaman din lang na pinag-uusapan nga natin yung mga spies and suspected spies. Nabanggit po ng BI nung nakaraang hearing na isa sa mga espiyang nadakip ninyo ay may 9G visa mula sa INVEC Treasure Processing Corporation. So ito, kasama po talaga siya sa POGO list. Ayan po, number 59, INVEC. Well, hindi na nakakagulat by now, pero nakakabahala pa rin, no, na itong INVEC na POGO service provider ay siyang nagpapasok ng espiya sa ating bansa. And we dug deeper into INVEC and we found something even more concerning. Ito po yung AOI niya at saka GIS, no? Ang contact person sa kanilang Articles of Incorporation ay isang Jose Domingo Tan. Siya rin ang notaryo ng AOI. Sa 2023 GIS din ng INVEC, nakalista bilang director o officer ang isang Jose Domingo Tan. So si Mr. Tan na involved sa POGO na lungga ng espiya, iisa lang kaya sa Jose Domingo Tan, sa director na ito ng CEZA. It's too bad wala na dito ang Nika na nagbanggit kanina sa CEZA at iba pang kasama sa kanilang inventory and assessment. At hindi lang po iyan ang koneksyon ng INVEC sa CEZA, no? In terms of a common officer or director. Dalawa sa incorporators nila ay may address din sa CEZA. So matatandaan po natin na CEZA rin nagkataon ang nagbigay daan noon na makapasok dito ang self-confessed spy na si Shi Zhejiang. So, sa pagpapatupad po, Attorney Santos, pagpapatupad ng BI sa deportation ng POGO actors, isinasama po ba ng Bureau ang mga involved sa offshore online gaming o services na lisensyado o nakabase sa SEZA, AFAB at APECO?
As a policy, Madam Senator, I would say that as long as there is a violation, it doesn't matter kung saan po yung company nila registered. We implement our immigration laws, particularly the grounds for deportation under our laws. So wala naman pong ano yon, distinction.
All right, salamat po. Now, still on allowing foreigners with questionable intentions into our country. Base sa reports na natatanggap ng aming opisina, isa pang visa na sinasamantala ang quota visa. Pwede niyo po bang talakayin ito? Ano po ang requirements nitong quota visa? Aling mga nationalities ang pwedeng bigyan nito? At ano ang basehan ng pagbibigay nito?
Hindi po ako yata yung competent po doon because that visa is not processed under the legal division. It was not processed under the legal division.
Under which division are the quota visas processed?
Sa Board of Commissioners po, Madam Senator.
Board of Commissioners. So I'll ask Commissioner Viado about it then, sir. So ano po yung requirements nitong quota visa, aling nationalities ang binibigyan at anong basehan ng pagbibigay?
For every country, about 50 po yata, 50 ang allowed na mag-avail of ng quota visa. Yun po, Your Honor. But the requirements, we can provide your office with particular requirements po.
Thank you.
Your
50
Honor.
per country. So aling mga countries po ang ini-issuehan ng mga nationals nila ng quota visa?
Ang US, China, Korea. Iba-iba pong countries, Your Honor. But we can provide you with the complete list of that.
Thank you.
Um,
So far US, China, Korea.
Okay.
Ilan po lahat yung complete list?
Marami po yan, Your Honor. But we can provide you with the complete list, Your Honor.
Thank you. Marami as in 10 o 100?
I think more than 10. Not sure if abot po ng 100.
More than 10. So 20, 30?
I'm not sure as to
40?
the exact number, Your Honor. But we
So,
can provide you
more
with the
than
list.
10. Yes, please. And kung ano po yung basehan ng pagbibigay or
Yes po.
pag-i-issue ng quota
Yes po, Your
visa sa nationalities na to. Magkano po yung bayad para sa isang quota visa?
For filing fees, I don't know, Your Honor. We can give you an assessment of that, Your Honor.
I remember po nung iniimbestiga namin yung iba't ibang mga visas noon, pati yung visa upon arrival, madali po naming napag-alaman sa hearings magkano yung fees na ina-assess para sa mga visa na yon. So, wala po bang alam na assessment, fees na sinisingil para sa quota visa?
Pwede ko pong pakuha and we can provide you in a few minutes, Your Honor.
Please do. Thank you, Commissioner. Before I continue with the Commissioner on the Bureau of Immigration, could I ask a related question kay General Torre? Kaugnay ng isang pinag-uusapan lamang na issue, no? General, we've heard how some Chinese agents so destabilization. May pag-aaral po ba tayo or kayo po sa Philippine National Police sa mga Chinese spies at paano sila posibleng konektado sa mga destabilization efforts?
Very interesting question, ma'am. And I'm not very sure of how much I can divulge, but this much I can tell. I can give a formal report to the Honorable Senator regarding this matter or in executive session. Some months ago, we had recovered some scheming devices and things that we believe can be used for breaching into data banks. This is also in furtherance of our investigation regarding the massive breach in the database systems of the PNP that was also reported in the media. We had coordinated with counterparts from other countries. We had been in constant touch with them to help us analyze, considering that the technology that we had recovered are possibly definitely foreign made, and also could have advances that we are not yet aware of. So we had through our data exchange and information exchange with our counterparts, especially in the intelligence community, we had gone to that. So on the question whether they can be used for this destabilization, definitely considering that the troll farms nowadays are part of the major operations that we are looking, not only in this election, but also in the other aspects of governance that we had, especially now, and we can feel it especially now in light of in the aftermath of the recent developments, especially on the recent controversial operations that we have undertaken. We had really felt the effects of troll farms and the power of the way interest parties or organizations are shaping public opinion for or against their benefactors or their sponsors. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, General, and the committee looks forward to that formal report or executive session. And tunay nga po, given the current political turmoil, concerned po ba tayo tungkol dun sa papel ng malign foreign influence, kaya banda bukod sa disinformation, outright financing of these tab efforts or iba pa? Whatever that you can share in open hearing, General.
One of the many things that we are doing regarding the stemming of the foreign influence in our governance, the glimpses can be seen in the activities that we have undertaken. CIDG had just recently conducted retraining of our DAFIs, the Deputized Anti-Financial Crime Investigators, because we have seen that many of the operations could be in the use of the troll farms, and many others are involving huge financial transfers and transactions. So we had trained our people on this. I had directed my senior officers actually to the mid-level supervisors to be retrained in financial investigation, so that we'll be able to sustain our gains in terrorism financing, money laundering, and the others in the aftermath of our exit for the gray list. This is in follow-up to the exit gray list project of the DOJ and the Department of Finance.
Salamat po, General. Just couple more questions to Attorney Arvin Santos for the BI and with the Commissioner dun sa quota visa. May clearance rin po ba mula sa NICA na kailangan sa quota visa para siguraduhin na hindi panganib sa national security yung mga pinagbibigyan nito? Sorry, I was asking the Commissioner about this. It's all right, sir. Kailangan din po ba ng clearance mula sa NICA para mabigyan ng quota visa?
As far as I know, Your Honor, at the moment hindi po, but I think that's a very good suggestion. We, in other types of visas, ni-require po yan, but I think that's a very good suggestion for if hindi pa ho kasama dun sa one of the requirements, I think that deserves consideration po.
And Commissioner, pakisubmit po sa committee yung listahan ng mga Chinese nationals na nabigyan nitong quota visa ng BI mula ng 2016.
2016, Your Honor. Okay.
Yes, salamat,
Okay,
Commissioner.
Your Honor. Ma'am, to answer your earlier question.
Yes, please proceed.
Ang ano po, quota visa po, it's actually a permanent residency visa based on reciprocity. Kung one country grants applying Filipino nationals the same privilege of being permanent residents, pwede rin po sila mag-avail of dito. At least 84 countries. Meron po tayong
84, sir?
84, yes, Your Honor. Tapos ang ano po, ang fees po for filing, etc. is 21,748, Your Honor.
Alright, salamat sir. So hintayin na lang po
Welcome
namin
po.
yung listahan.
Opo.
Salamat po.
Okay po, Your Honor.
Just out
Yes,
of,
Senator Sherwin.
yeah, out of curiosity, itong quota visa, Commissioner, how does one apply for quota visa? Meron ba yung quota? Like for-
Yung quota po is the 50, Your Honor,
yung
per
50?
nationality. So based ho on reciprocity, kung if the country of his nationality affords the same privilege to nationals who would apply
Okay.
for permanent residence with the residency with their own country, we grant that ano po, we grant that privilege.
Okay, and then the requirements is just to pay the fee?
Meron pong set of requirements, Your Honor, but we can provide
Like,
po
that's
sa
just
inyo.
ano lang, out of for discussion purposes, ano yung mga requirements? Just one requirements. One
Yes, Your
requirement.
Honor. I'll confer with my colleagues.
Kasi 'di ba pag investor's visa, you need to invest X amount. Pag student visa, you need to be studying here. So aside from reciprocity, what are the requirements or what are the requirement?
We are just
Yeah.
downloading the requirements po for
Okay.
your
And then
assumptions.
this is permanent residency siya. So meaning how long is the duration of one visa?
Your Honor, these are the documentary requirements. Sorry. The documentary requirements are the following. Letter request addressed to the Commissioner from the applicant stating that he or she is in possession of a valid passport or equivalent document and visa at the time of the filing of the application, and then does not belong to any class of excludable or deportable foreign nationals enumerated under sections 29 and 37 of the Philippine Immigration Act. Possesses the qualifications, skills, scientific, educational, or technical knowledge which will advance and be beneficial to the national interest of the Philippines, or has sufficient capital for a viable and sustainable investment. And then the person should accomplish a form, a BI form, and then should submit a photocopy of the passport bio page, and then the proof of the applicant's special qualifications like academic degrees, awards, certificates of recognition, and other documents attesting to the applicant's special qualifications, skills or knowledge, or proof of financial capacity or investment, including but not limited to bank certification of inward remittance amounting to at least $50,000 or equivalent in other foreign currency. And then documents evidencing ownership, purchase of a condominium or condominium units acquired within 4 years prior to filing the quota immigrant visa may be considered, with a corresponding proof that the amount he or she invested came or was inwardly remitted from foreign sources. Documents showing ownership of or an investment in an existing corporation, enterprise, or business concern, shares of stock, or other equivalent proof of ownership in a corporation or business concern acquired within 4 years prior to the filing of the application may be considered with a corresponding proof that the amount he or she invested came or was inwardly remitted from foreign sources. There should also be a stamp issued by the Bureau of Quarantine appearing in the applicant's passport or travel document, in a certification from a government health institution that the applicant is physically and mentally fit, and then a valid NBI clearance if the application is filed 6 months or more from the date of the first first arrival in the Philippines and the BI clearance certificate.
Parang ring investor's visa, more or less, to, kasi you need to buy a
Yes, Your Honor.
condominium, you have to invest $50,000, you have to have some form of scientific knowledge to enable you to contribute to society, to
That's
the
correct, Your Honor.
local society.
Opo,
Okay,
Your Honor.
all right. Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Welcome, Your Honor.
Salamat, Senator Sherwin. Ilang mga tanong naman po para sa DOJ ulit. Would it be Attorney Nancy or? Yes, sir. All right. So, ito po tungkol sa mga involved dun sa Porac Pogo. May update po ba sa kasong kriminal laban sa mga taong involved doon? Oh, and I apologize, Attorney. Before I field the questions to you, just one follow-up question to General Torre dun sa napag-usapan natin kanina. Kayo mismo target ng fake news. May balak po ba kayong kasuhan sila?
So the moment, ma'am, wala, ma'am. It's just part of the job. No worries. We can take it. Papractice lang tayo ng pagpapakapal lalo ng balat, ma'am.
Lahat tayo sa gobyerno siguro, ganon. Okay, salamat General. Buhay po kayo. Yes, Attorney Samson. Updates po kung mayroon dun sa mga kaso sa mga taong involved sa Porac Pugo.
Okay. Good afternoon, Your Honor, Senator Sherwin. I'm the head of the Bamban case build-up team, but insofar as the PORA cases are concerned, what I know is that the case was already submitted for resolution, and we are just waiting for the release of the resolution, Your Honor, from the department.
Kung ganun, masasabi nyo rin po ba kung kailan lalabas yung arrest warrants sa mga taong involved?
I'll verify with the Office of the Prosecutor General, Your Honor, because we can only determine the issuance of the warrant once the information or informations will be filed in court.
And then patungkol naman po dun sa unang tanong ng investigasyong ito, yung pagtulong kay Guo Huaping na mameke sa notary at tumakas. May update po ba sa mga kaso at kung anong kaso, kung mayroon na laban kina Mayor Liseldo Calugay, Cheryl Ordoña Medina, Attorney Elmer Galicia at Kadante?
For the Bamban case build-up team, Your Honor, we already filed a total of 7 complaints. These complaints are qualified trafficking in persons, money laundering, falsification against Attorney Galicia, Cheryl Medina, and Alice Gubo. We also filed a serious illegal detention case. This is a revived case. This was part of the inquest case which was dismissed. Then my team revived the same. We also filed a violation of the anti-dummy law. So this was investigated by the National Bureau of Investigation. Just last March 12, Your Honor, PAOK and NBI filed 2 more cases. The first one is the second batch of qualified trafficking in persons, which involves newly discovered corporate officers of Zuni 1 and 13 PAGCOR employees, Your Honor. So this is also for qualified trafficking in persons. The other complaint filed last week was for falsification for the Suwal property. Yeah. With respect to Mayor Calugay, Your Honor, we the team is still conducting its case build-up. There are about 6 more complaints to be filed, Your Honor. As of now, I just cannot disclose the personalities involved for confidentiality reasons, Your Honor. But there will be big cases to be filed soon, including public officials and employees, Your Honor, prior to Guwaping, aka Alice Guo.
Thank you very much for those updates, Attorney Samson. At dahil nabanggit nyo rin po yung mga incorporators ng Zunyuan. By any chance, may update din po ba sa mga biniktima ng identity theft para ilistang incorporators ng mga kumpanya sa Bamban at kusa silang sumuko sa ating mga otoridad sa huling hearing ng isang komite, ng isang investigasyon. Pero talagang hanggang ngayon, nagsusumamo sila na hindi daw nila alam.
Yes.
Opo.
Yes, Your Honor. So this involves the first qualified trafficking persons case, which is now pending trial in RTC Pasig. So what I can confirm, Your Honor, is that the court already denied their application for petition for bail, and the prosecution will present its last witness on March 31. Then the prosecution will be filing its formal offer of exhibits, Your Honor, thereafter.
That's sad to hear po, but thank you for that update as well. Bukod sa lumabas sa mga pagdinig ng yung isang komite on Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality, meron pa po ba kayong ibang impormasyon na naimbestiga sa partisipasyon ng mga taong ito, particular dun sa pagpapatakas or pagtakas ni Guo Huaping?
My team, Your Honor, has not gone to that aspect yet. But once we receive any information or any evidence that could lead us to conduct another case build-up, then my team will definitely be willing to do the same, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Attorney Samson. Ngayon, naalala ko po, nung panahon ng isang investigasyong iyon, PAOK yung halos on top of yung interagency body at saka efforts. Ngayon, the mandate or the mantle is shifting to DOJ. So DOJ na po ang namumuno sa Task Force Pogo closure. Binubuo yan ng DOLE, PAGCOR, PAOK at BI. Pero kayo talaga yung ahensyang inatasan bilang pinuno niyan. So, bakit hanggang ngayon parang watak-watak pa at wala pang sapat na organisasyon yung proseso ng pagpapasara ng mga POGOs?
With respect to that question, Your Honor, I believe I am not competent to answer the same because I'm only leading the team for Bamban case build-up. But I'm proud to say, Your Honor, that insofar as Bamban case build-up team is concerned, we are happy to have on board the CIDG, PAOK, NBI. We're also working, Your Honor, with PDEA and even NICA. And in the cases that will be filed soon, Your Honor, we're actually be privileged to work with Interpol. Yan.
And in fairness po sa inyo, attorney, no, sa dami at variety ng mga kaso na in-update nyo ang komite at lahat ng resource persons, dapat na nga pong pagmalaki yung efforts ng team nyo. And I bring up the matter of DOJ kasi tumataas yung expectation din sa DOJ dito sa pagpapasarat talaga sa POGO at pagsingil ng accountability ng lahat na na-involve dyan, Guo Huaping et al. And syempre, pagtugon sa mga issue na lumilitaw dun sa proseso ng pagpapasara talaga nito. And hopefully po, kung pwede lang ipong ipahayag, attorney, sa mga colleagues, sana po sa susunod na pagdinig ay may kinatawa ng department who can speak on the task force POGO closure. Also to advise us dito sa Senado, no, based on what's DOJ doing to rationalize this effort by government and to ensure that accountability and justice are obtained. Paano kami sa legislature patuloy na makakasuporta? Bukod of course dun sa pinangungunahan na ni Senator Sherwin, yung panukalang batas namin dito na gawing i-deem illegal talaga at ipagbawal ang POGO. Last from me for now for the DOJ, and kung hindi po kayo ang sasagot dito, baka pwedeng ibahagi na lang sa mga colleagues. Yung tanong po na makakatulong po ba ang paggawa ng unified rules sa pagproseso ng POGO actors para maiwasan yung mga isyung lumalabas sa hearing na ito?
Definitely, Your Honor, because the ban on POGOs require a unified approach from the government. We need to implement or to gather all the best practices from different agencies so that we can be effective in really closing or eradicating the POGO operations in our country, because we know for a fact that even up to now, there are still illegal POGO operations. But with the support, like our experience in the Bamban case build-up team, Your Honor, PAOK has always been there for us. NBI was also there. CIDG. I just spoke with General Nick Torre 2 weeks ago because we are developing 2 more big cases involving Bamban. So I believe there is a proper, a correct, and accurate approach with respect to POGO cases. We just need to discuss it among ourselves and decide the proper approach to take on that, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Samson. Senator Sherwin.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up, Madam Chairman. Attorney, have you filed cases in relation to the fake birth certificates? Have you investigated that? Because a big portion, or probably a serious portion of the investigation, is also in relation to the fake birth certificates, no? And we have proven in the committee that yung mga birth certificates na issue kay Guo Huaping tsaka mga kapatid niya puro peking impormasyon. And dahil diyan marami ring mga lumalabas ngayon na fake birth certificates sa iba't ibang LGUs, no? So just focusing on itong kay Guo Huaping, nag-file, na imbestigahan niyo ba ito? Nag-file ba tayo ng kaso dito sa fake birth certificates?
Okay. In collaboration, Your Honor, with the National Bureau of Investigation, the team filed 2 cases so far and will be filing at least 5 more cases. So the case theory is that for the violation of the anti-dummy law, the theory of the complainant was that Go Ping is not Filipino but Chinese citizen. So we anchored the theory based on the SIRV documents we gathered. So we totally disregarded the entries or the details found in her birth certificate. The birth certificate was not falsified. It was falsified. It was an authentic document. It's just that she used other details inconsistent with her true identity. So what the case build-up team is now doing is to really establish that she's not Filipino but a Chinese national. That's why we filed a case for violation of anti-dummy law, not only against Go Ping, but also against her alleged mother, her alleged father, and 2 more siblings, Your Honor. And this case theory applies to the Sual property, which was filed by the National Bureau of Investigation last March 12 before the Department of Justice.
Actual property is the property that she bought, diba?
The first, the complaint for violation of the anti-dummy law concerns the mga Tarem property, Your Honor, the 370
Which she
which she
purchased.
bought, which she purchased, and which also involved Mayor Kalugay. Although the investigation by the National Bureau of Investigation did not uncover strong evidence to really link him to the purchase, but there could be other crimes committed by the good mayor, but we are still doing the case build-up, Your Honor. For the Sual property, this involves the Alisal Farms. Your Honor.
May I suggest to expand your investigation, and this is also being conducted already by the PSA, Philippine Statistical Authority, to look at the people who gave wrong information to produce genuine birth certificates. You're right, the birth certificates are authentic, but the information given are all spurious or all fake. No? But we need to also have accountability on that portion. Number 1, accountability to those people who gave those fake information. And then number 2, baka may sindikato sa loob. Diba? And hindi malayo yun na may sindikato sa loob. There's one LGU in one of our investigation came out. One LGU issued 1,500 birth certificates through late registration. No? And NBI has already detected 50 of those are the information given are also not are spurious. No? So in other words, we need to have accountability on those fake information, or let me call it irregular birth certificates. We need to have accountability on that. We need to also file cases because yan ang naging mode ng mga masasamang tao para maging instant Pilipino eh. Nagbabayad lang sila ng sindikato, mabibigyan sila ng birth certificate. And we need to stop that perpetuation.
Noted, Your Honor. Just to inform this subcommittee, Your Honor, the case build-up team will be filing a complaint regarding violation of our environmental laws. We will be touching on the cryptocurrency aspect as well. So this will be a multi-agency approach, multi-agency investigation composed of the Department of Justice, the CIDG, NBI, the Anti-Cybercrime Group, and the Philippine Anti-Organized Crime Commission, Your Honor. And we will definitely, and there will be a second batch of money laundering as well. So we will include the suggestion of the good senator with respect to the falsification in the birth certificates, Your Honor. And I hope we can. I hope that Bamban case build-up team will still be able to get the support from CIDG, NBI, and PAOK, Your Honor. My team of prosecutors composed of, we are 21 prosecutors, Your Honor. We have always been willing to do the job, to do whatever it can so that we can render effective justice to everyone, Your Honor.
What happened to the assets in the SALN of Mayor Alice Go? Because she also purchased property, I remember, in Las Piñas and also other places. No? These properties were also bought and registered under her name. Hence, it's in the SALN.
Yes.
So have you looked at that angle as well?
Definitely, Your Honor. So there is a pending petition for civil forfeiture before the Makati RTC, and some of the properties are being forfeited in favor of government. Now, with respect to the criminal case pending in RTC Pasig, Branch 167, the government has already presented evidence to forfeit the properties under the name of Alice Guo. So, in particular, Your Honor, we presented sufficient evidence for the forfeiture of the Baofu compound itself. And for the motor vehicles, Your Honor, we have also presented evidence regarding the same. For the other properties, real properties, I believe the NBI is continuing its investigation because as of last month, NBI found new properties, undeclared properties against Go Waping, Your Honor.
It's outside of her SALN.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then just submit to the committee and also with can I also request from NBI just submit to the committee your new findings, and let me just urge the DOJ to just make sure that the properties in her SALN and also other newly discovered properties are included in your case build-up. Thank you. Thank you.
We will do so, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have question. Director Winnie, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Director Casio, please.
I apologize, Madam Chair, Mr. Senator. I would be remiss in my duty if I do not correct the Honorable Chairwoman. The Commission still stands as the chairperson of Technical Working Group against illegal POGOs under Executive Order 74. The Department of Justice serves as the Vice Chair of the said Technical Working Group, Madam Chair.
So I stand corrected. Salamat
Yes,
para
I
doon,
apologize.
Director
And with
Casio.
regards
No
to
apologies
our work,
necessary.
ma'am, we have in the pipeline two memoranda coming from the chair of the technical working group that we're hoping to be released to the member agencies of the technical working group within the week to be able to streamline our rules in relation to the continuing anti-illegal POGO operations and the subsequent deportation process. Likewise, we are continuing with the filing of criminal charges against the POGO bosses and Filipino nationals who may have aided the operations of these POGO bosses. It is our policy never to summarily deport all Chinese nationals, but rather we do case build up and identify individuals, foreign and local, against whom we could file criminal charges. Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Senator.
Thank you, Director Casio. And before I turn over again to Senator Sherwin, since you mentioned the deportation, pwede po bang mag-weigh in ang PAOK on this policy of deportation? Bakit po ba tayo hindi nakaka-case build up para kasuhan itong mga taga-pogo na ito? Is it a problem of capacities?
No, ma'am. With regards to deportation, we always defer to the Bureau of Immigration, to the Board of Commissioner, because it is their primary function, ma'am. But with regards to case build-up in relation to foreign nationals against whom we could file charges, it is always an interagency collaboration between the PAOK, the CIDG, the National Bureau of Investigation, and whichever law enforcement agency we have worked with against a particular POGO, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Casio. Senator Sherwin.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Just a few questions to AMLAC. Where is AMLAC? Can we get an update on the cases that were filed against Go Hopping and in relation to the Banban Pogo Hub? And then after that, cases that were filed in relation to the Porac Pogo Hub.
Attorney Trijo, tama po ba? Yes,
Yes,
Attorney.
yes, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Senator Gatchalian. So far, we have filed 2 civil forfeiture cases in relation to the Bamban case. One covers the Baufo compound, and yes, the Baufo compound. This is the same asset covered by the criminal forfeiture, which is a part of the criminal proceedings before the regional trial court in Pasig City. And then the other one, Madam Chair, we filed the same just this month, and this covers the bank accounts and motor vehicles found inside the Baufo compound, which is also similarly covered by the criminal forfeiture before the regional trial court in Pasig City. And for the last case that I mentioned, the bank accounts, for the bank involving bank accounts, the regional trial court in Makati City have issued a provisional asset preservation order. And this coming March 31, there will be a summary hearing for the determination of whether an asset preservation order should be issued. Our investigation, Your Honor, is continuing, and we expect to file more cases, particularly with respect to related accounts and other real properties that we continue to uncover.
How about attorneys Porac?
Yes. As to the Porac assets, we have filed a petition for peace order, and this case covers the 2 assets or properties. One that is located, one refers to the Pogo Hub in Porac. In the other one is the mansion, and certain bank accounts, Your Honor. The peace order for this case remains in effect until May, and we expect to complete the financial investigation by the end of this month.
And then after the financial investigation, you'll file cases again.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Have you also, during the course of the investigation here in the Senate, meron rin tayong napag-usapan yung how come large amount of money were not declared as suspicious transactions? We were also, in the case of Banban, we showed during the hearing that asset is worth 7 billion pesos. And we also saw in the transactions that money went to the accounts of Alice Go, money went to the accounts of the Go-related companies, and there were no reports to AMLAC about suspicious transactions. And I remember during the course of the hearing, we also recommended to investigate that aspect. What is the latest on that investigation?
I guess, Your Honor, insofar as the determination as to the flow of funds that uh, funded the construction of the Baufo compound, as to where the funds used for this property come from. I guess we have already provided, Your Honor, an explanation for that. And we attributed to certain limitations that our office have in capturing reports in relation to that matter. If I could recall it right, Your Honor, the limitation that I'm referring to is the fact that the trigger for suspicion happened just recently, while the transaction that may have a relation to the Baufo compound happened long before that.
That's right.
Yes.
That's the point, diba? The suspicion happened belatedly after na the fact, but it should be declared right after the transaction happened, diba? So what happened to that investigation? How come it's late na declare siya? I think it was declared 2 years after, if I'm not mistaken.
May I be given time, Your Honor, to refer to the unit that is involved in the financial investigation, Your Honor. I just do not have the data, the explanation available at the moment for
Okay,
that.
just submit to the committee an update on that aspect, because what we during the hearing chaired by our good chairperson, Senator Risa, we discovered that huge amount of money went into the construct. Obviously, andyan yung building, diba? May obviously gumamit ng pera para i-construct yan. The point there is hindi natin alam paano pumasok yung perang yun at bakit hindi na alerto yung AMLAC na meron palang ganung pumapasok na pera, because whenever deposits are made or transactions are incurred, they declare to AMLAC. And the respondents or the people who are making the deposit should disclose where the funds came from. No? But this is an amount to a tune of 7 billion pesos. So ang laki ng pumapasok pero walang declaration to AMLAC saan nanggagaling yung pera. Is it a sale of property? Is it from a business? Is it dividends? Walang ganun eh. So, Attorney, may I again urge AMLAC to take a look at this angle. This is another missing link that AMLAC has not supplied the committee with in terms of information and investigation. So please take a look at that, and as soon as you have information, update the committee in writing.
We will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Salamat, Senator Sherwin. So, dear colleagues, no, ayon sa batas, as Commissioner Viado interprets it, pwede ang connecting flights. But I wish to make of record that the law does not say na dapat ang connecting flights. Hindi rin naman natin sinasabi na bawal ang layover flights. We are not charging anyone with RA 3019 here. No one is laying out a defense. We are reviewing policies and seeing where we can improve. At ang larong lumalabas ngayon, ginagamit ng POGO actors ang leeway na naibibigay ng BI para tumakas at hindi na umuwi sa mga bansa nila. The continued permitting of connecting flights, where direct flights are available, is a boon to the continuation of transnational crimes. The commissioner could very well, as the head of our border control, prohibit connecting flights for POGO workers or ensure stricter protocols like coordination between the borders. Obvious na nga, nagpupulasa ng mga POGO workers pagdating sa layover at nagrereklamo na ang mga embassy nila. Kung business as usual pa din ang ating approach, ewan ko na lang. The reason why we have become a safe haven for these bad actors ay dahil tila parang sebong lamig kung kumilos yung iba nating mga enforcer at regulator. By the way, may I request from the BI the names of your personnel of those who escorted the deportees. Friends, bagamat may konting liwanag na tungkol sa pag-alis ni Guo Huaping, I'm disappointed that we have still not resolved with finality paano siya nakaalis. Sunod-sunod at matagal ng disappointment natin ito. There are a few more issues we want to look into. Yung alert list, order list, yung visas ng Chinese spies, yung pag-abuso sa quota visas, at yung sinasabing pagtakas ng ilan pang POGO workers. The BI has laid out a case sa kung paanong pilay sila, kaya di nila tayo masagot sa nangyari kay Guo. But at the same time, parang may hesitation rin ang commissioner na i-exercise ang ibang kapangyarihan na meron naman sila pagdating sa POGO situation. We will continue to delve into this. With thanks to all the resource persons and translator and resource persons online, this hearing is suspended.